We're here with Arlene Monkman, librarian at Stony Brook Middle School. Her heart had stopped. She stopped breathing. She collapsed. Fortunately, Jackie Brysky was there, and fortunately, she also knew CPR. And we have a dummy here, and I'm not talking about your host and myself. I'm talking about this thing lying on the table here. Introduce us to your CPR dummy.
Well, this is, well, I always call him Tom or Joe.
Okay.
So whatever name comes to mind.
All right, let's call him Tom. Tom's here.
Okay.
And you teach CPR, correct?
Yes, I do. I teach for the Canadian Red Cross. Yeah.
And we're not going to be able to teach people CPR today on the air.
No.
It takes more than this.
You need to come to a class and learn how to do it. Yeah.
Can you give us the basics of what we need to know?
Okay. Essentially, CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, your job is to keep the heart pumping. So the heart inside our body contracts and expands and forces the blood through our whole body from our toes to our brain. We want to keep that blood flow going because we have oxygen in our blood. The chance of you resuscitating someone and bringing them back where they're breathing and walking around is very, very unlikely. So really your goal in this is just to keep that blood flowing so that there's oxygenated blood going to their brain, to their vital organs. Basically, you're keeping them alive.
And the important part is still to call 911.
Yes, you do need to call 911.
Because you're keeping the blood going until the professionals get there.
Yes. If there's no one else around that can do it for you, then you go call 911 or EMS if you're in a region where there is no 911. But then you come back and continue with CPR. Yeah.
Now, I took CPR a long time ago, and it's changed over the years. What's changed?
Well, first of all, the compressions used to be 15 compressions to 2 breaths. But what they realized is that after 12 to 13 compressions, that's when you actually started to have good blood flow. So they changed that to 30 compressions to 2 breaths. So that gives the body a chance to have a better blood flow through the whole circulation system before giving breaths. But the other thing that they've added now is compressions only CPR, which is a form of CPR where you do no breathing, because we know that you have 7 to 8 minutes of stored oxygen in your blood. So just circulating that blood for doing compressions only is really, really effective. And compressions is really the most important part of CPR.
And BG's staying alive?
Well, I use that song in teaching because for some reason they got it exactly right. It's 103 beats a minute, which is how fast you need to be pumping. I mean, you can use the other song, Another One Bites the Dust, but I would rather not be teaching with that song.
That's not a good song to use.
No, so
Staying Alive is much better.
Staying Alive.
Good choice.